Arnie Meyer. I was born October 20th, 1977 in Scarborough. I won't say the specific hospital because people pretend to be me with the type of technology I'm describing here. And so they would have to have multiple DNA points checked on their body, and then it would show that they're not me. And I'm the only one that is capable of doing this. And so basically, I was able to entice and seduce the internet into revealing that not only can people see or hear your thoughts, that they're able to agitate your nerves and cause involuntary muscle movements, basically being able to hijack your body. So I'm just going to prove it to you now. So if I were to say I in the future, it's always understood that I mean Christian Eric Arnie Meyer, because people pretend to be me with this type of technology. So the human body is a conductor of electricity. It's composed largely of water. A conductive material can transmit and receive signals. And conductors, by definition, allow electrical current to flow through them, and the flow of current can be used to carry information, which is essentially a signal. Antennas, which transmit and receive radio waves. While the human body isn't an antenna in a traditional sense, it does share some characteristics with antenna-like functions, particularly how it processes and transmits information. So when you transmit information, you can send or receive sound or video images, right? Like with an antenna, like a radio and antenna, you send sound waves, and then so it gets transmitted from the radio station, and then it gets received on your radio receiver, and then you're able to hear those sounds, which we call songs or voice, right? So they would be able to, in the human brain, they'd be able to transmit thoughts into your head, and then or receive thoughts from your head with the same type of technology, with sound waves. Or biomolecular communication, which is nanotechnology. I'll get to it later on in this video. But also with a cathode ray TV, they're able to transmit and receive visual stimulus, which we call our thoughts, like our images that we would see in our brain, our thoughts. So anyways, the brain transmits electrical signals, which can be considered comparably to radio waves. And it also seems to resonate with certain frequencies. So you could hear when I said radio waves, somebody pretended to be me. My name's Christian Eric Arnie Meyer once again. And you can't encode any subliminal to this to restrict this video from being propagated with the Bill C-18. There's no hate propaganda, and there's no child pornography added by myself, Christian Eric Arnie Meyer. It would be an external source. And the whole point of making this video is to stop child pornographers, pedophiles, rapists, and bestiality and organized terror. So that's the whole point of posting this video. So any suppression of this video is inherently harming national interest in Canada, not propagating national interest. It's just most people know politicians are shady, right? So they're just trying to limit the exposure of this video because it would reveal their clandestine activities and how they manipulate the human brain to justify getting their positions and stealing attributes from them. So let's see. So much like an antenna, so once again, I'll read that sentence over again. So resonates certain frequencies, much like an antenna does. Nanotechnology enables molecular communication for transmitting and receiving information at the nanoscale, with potential applications in prosthetic controls. So this is where they could commandeer another body. Instead of a prosthetic, it would be another human body and manipulation. This involves using molecules that transmit and encode information, mimicking biological communication systems. Nanomaterials can enhance prosthetic devices, improve functionality, comfort, and lifespan, as well as enabling more natural limb movement and sensory feedback. So in this particular, if you were to go to this particular website, it would reveal some of this information. Many computer monitors and tubes, when displaying pulse images, emit pulse electromagnetic fields of sufficient amplitudes to cause excitation. It is therefore possible to manipulate the nervous system and subject manipulating the nervous system of a subject. And right now they're doing that to me to make me not be able to communicate as effectively. That's why I'm kind of stuttering right now. So here's the perpetrator right there. It's a patient that just arrived at the Syria hospital. His name's Anthony. He's a mulatto. And once again, I'm Christian Eric Arnie Meyer. I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy. So subject to pulsing displayed on a nearby computer set. I skipped there. It is therefore possible to manipulate a nervous system of a subject by pulsing images displayed on a nearby computer monitor or TV set or a cell phone. Manipulating the nervous system with different frequencies can potentially cause both agitation and involuntary movements, altering the natural firing patterns of the neurons through external stimulation can disrupt the delicate balance of the nervous system. So Xavier, another patient that just arrived at the Superior Hospital. So once again, Canada has, I'm just going to do a side note because I'm getting hijacked here because people want affinity. So I'm just going to show you the subliminal that they have on surfaces, and so it's going to prove that the Canadian government has a profiling system. So with this technology, they profile people and they're able to steal attributes and violate the human experience. So I'm just going to go to my folder in technology because I'm tired. I'm trying to communicate, and people pretend to be me to justify raping my human experience. So you can see this face right there. That's a subliminal face, and right here, this proves that it's Christian Aragorni Myers. It's my system. I run the system. I'm the smartest human that's ever lived. I'll give you 10 reasons why I'm the smartest human that ever lived right now. I'm just going to show you my face. So once again, with a Gauss rating, it would prove that there's a subliminal metric there, a Gauss, Gauss, or Tesla meter reading. So anyways, 3 ways to save civilization. You know, most low orbit telecommunication satellites, they're not protected by the magnetosphere. So you could have a telecommunication satellite that has a magnetic field around it, and it would, so once again, people are pretending to be me during this, and the magnetic field would protect it from coronal mass ejections or solar flares. So both Xavier and Anthony, these new perpetrators, they're going to be, once the Canadian public finds out that Canadians that don't have any license to kill, criteria or abilities, and they're just patients at the mental health facility, and they try to harm myself, Christian Aragorni Meyer, I'm going to prove that I'm going to be king eventually in the future, right? So once I'm king, right, I'm going to be able to be like, okay, this is what the average Canadian does to other Canadians. They secretly kill them. And at that point, I'm going to be able to amend the Constitution and then have them execute you for high treason for crimes against my body, Christian Aragorni Meyer, and then just death penalties for you killing Canadians covertly. I'm going to be able to prove this quite easily. So anyways, so the one way to save civilization is to have a magnetic field around our telecommunication satellites. So now you utilize the same technology. And I guess I would elaborate that further. I haven't mentioned in several videos. But so you would also have your telecommunication satellites, they would be looking inwards towards Earth, but at the same time outwards in the universe, looking for asteroids. So now you have the same type of technology orbiting planets in our solar system, right? So it has the magnetic field, it's orbiting around the planets in the solar system. So it'd be looking internally at the planets in the solar system for any scientific observations that we need to make, but also outwardly towards the universe to, once again, I'm a blonde haired blight. I have to keep on repeating myself because the government of Canada allows people to hack my DNA. Right, and how many times do I have to repeat myself? I'm a blonde-haired blue-eyed guy. People use augmented reality and they pretend that I'm black at this moment. No black person has ever won a Nobel Prize for science. Right, so anyways, so with this technology orbiting planets around the solar system, looking inwardly for observations and outwardly for asteroids, we would get a different trajectory for asteroids that are heading towards Earth. So giving us years worth of warning rather than possibly months or weeks. So then another way to enhance civilization or save it is to reflect with nanoparticles or nanotechnology that's in the air molecules, reflect some of the sun's heat, particularly around the depleted regions of the ozone. This would prevent skin cancer, and it would also cool the planet enough to be in the ideal habitat range for life on Earth, for biological life and humans particularly, and our food supply. Right. So there's 3 reasons. Right. So now, so other reasons is people that have glasses on and they might need hearing aids. Right. So nobody's ever put hearing aids in the glasses frames to make it so people only have to have 1 device rather than 3 devices. Right. So that's one idea. And then when on ocean liners, on the life rafts, they're in the ocean, right? There's salt water. We can't drink salt water due to the salinity, right? So what you could do is you could have a solar still, and every time I show that the circle, I'm showing the perpetrators that are hijacking my body that are pretending to be me to prevent this from being propagated based on Bill C-18. They're human hijackers. They're a threat that needs to be removed. right? And so anyways, no ocean liner has a life raft that has solar stills, and a solar still basically you put water in a container, and then you would have a storage container. So with the water that's in the container, it is salt water or dirty water. It evaporates, and then it goes down, and then it condensates and drops into a container that you'd be able to drink from, right? So people that were lost at sea on a life raft, they would have a higher chance of survivability because they would be able to drink regular drinking water. And then you could also have a buoy with some fishing gear and possibly a solar panel barbecue to be able to cook the fish, so you wouldn't get any bacteria or what have you. So let's see. So that's 5 reasons. 5 reasons right now. So another one is to have sharks are susceptible to electromagnetic interference, and so electromagnetic interference would repel sharks away from beaches. So you could have buoys around beaches, and it would show, like, it would repel the sharks, so sharks wouldn't be able to be eaten, or they wouldn't eat people. Pardon me. So I just started clicking my ears. So once again, this shows that they're allowing pulsating images through my phone here to try to hack my brain and disrupt me from being able to. So you can see how I got wrinkled on film. And so I'm just going to take a picture here because people want my affinity so bad. They want my attention so bad. And I hate these people. They're parasite, right? And what do you do with parasites? You try to kill them. Right? Like, if a mosquito tries to take your blood, most people don't let humans or mosquitoes bite them without those people trying to kill those mosquitoes. Like, so if you listen to my video from yesterday, because I just did some research in the activity room at the Syria Hospital, and I learned that with pulsating images, so they're trying to utilize this technique against me. So if you watch my videos from yesterday, I don't stutter whatsoever, right? But Anthony, this new perpetrator that's at the hospital, I think he wants some affinity, and you can smell me right now. I don't smell black. I'm Caucasian. So anyway, so let's see. So the satellites around Earth, telecommunication satellites. And so that's one, and then solar system, and then reflecting light, and then the glasses with hearing aids built in, and then the life rafts, and then sharks. So that's 6 ideas. So 4 more ideas. Can I come up with 4 more ideas right now? Okay, so let's see. Well, I'm at the hospital, and there's this older woman named Ellen, and she's like, well, she mentioned how she couldn't remember if she took her prescriptions or whatnot, right? So what you could do is you could have a thumbprint system, or and then you would be able to, like, a container, your pill container, and then it'd be like, okay, it'd be digital and it'd give you some audio feedback. It'd be like, okay, you haven't taken you've taken your pills at 8:15 and you're not due to take them for another 4 hours, just so people don't over medicate themselves, right? So that's 7 ideas, and then now the eighth idea is this is kind of 2 in 1. Right, so this one is so if police are behind a car, they when they have their sirens on, right, people could be listening to loud music, and if it's at nighttime, you're going to see the lights, right? But if it's during the day, the lights aren't going to be as apparent because you can be listening to loud music and it's daylight, so it's not going to show up as well, right? So you can have the lights from the police cruiser or any first responders, particularly police cruisers, but you can have them first responders. You can have it so that it overrides the radio station and be like, hey, could you pull over into the slow lane so we could pass, right? So that would be one different invention for 7. That's number 7. So then number 8 would be for the police cruisers to be able to override and be like, hey, you need to pull over now, and then so they would pull over. So that's 8 ideas. And then the 9th idea is now with the police cruisers, should they not pull over, they would be able to emit a signal. So since they're behind the vehicle at this point, they're going to have taillights, and they're going to be able to, they could override with a frequency going into the taillight circuitry, and then through like some sort of electromagnetic pulse, they'd be able to stop and commandeer the vehicle basically and control it to stop it and prevent any high-speed pursuits, fatalities, which occur quite frequently. And the same thing would happen if they were in front of the vehicle and they put on their taillights. They could override their headlight functionality and cause an EMP shortage in the system and be able to stop the vehicle and result in, without using spike strips and getting in these hour-long pursuits, and it'd be over instantly, right? And it would save many lives. So that's 9 ideas. So let's see if I could come up with one right now on the spot. I'm just going to pause it. I'm just going to think for a few seconds. Well, before I do that, I'm going to show you how I can make my wrinkles disappear, because I showed you the subliminal system, the subliminal that was on the asphalt or sidewalk in Toronto, Ontario. And so I'm going to make these wrinkles disappear while I'm on live film. But I'm not going to look at the screen, because if I look at the screen, then they're able to register in my eyes with biomolecular communication and with the pulsation of impulses through the screen, and then they're going to be able to possibly make it so the wrinkles stay there or reappear. So what I'm using right now, this is Mobi Zen. It's a screen recorder. It doesn't have any. You could Google search or search on the internet. It doesn't have any wrinkle reduction capabilities whatsoever. My body has the ability to restore wrinkles naturally, because I have longer telomeres than every other human on the planet. I have different muscle structures, and I'll be able to show this after the video. Then I'll resume to the fact that this was supposed to be a quick video. I was going to read like maybe 1,500 words, but these human parasites frustrate me to no end and agitate me, which is natural, right? If somebody is like, do mosquitoes piss you off when they try to get blood out of you? Yeah, that's natural. So a human parasite, is that not going to piss you off? Right. So anyways, these people, eventually I'm going to be king. Right. And then eventually I'm going to be able to, I'm going to prove once again that you kill Canadians secretly. We don't have a death penalty. Right. So once I prove that you kill Canadians secretly, because they're like, well, he said he's going to assassinate somebody. No, kings don't assassinate people. Kings execute people for high treason. Right, so anyways, watch my wrinkles disappear. I'm just going to walk around this room. You can see that I didn't stop recording. I'm going to walk around. I'm making sure that I don't step on different subliminal metrics. And they're trying to make me look at different spots on the floor to register me continuously. But that's not ethical. And you can see how the wrinkles disappeared. Right, that's not ethical. You can't have a special system for the guy that's trying to stop child pornography, rape, and bestiality 100% of the time. This is what these individuals do all the time. So you can see how shocked they are. They're using biomolecular communication to pretend to be my body at this point, but no, you can't pretend to be me anymore. You're human parasites. You're the problem. You're the disease, and I, Christian Eric Meyer, am the solution. So anyways, I'll show you the back muscles being different, and then I'll go on to resume with how they're able to use technology to see your thoughts and comment your human experience. So here's kind of proof of it. I just happen to be here, so without going back to this particular folder, I'm just going to show you this while I'm here. So, Dad, in my English class, sometimes my eyes turn red and blue, only in my English class. Right. So that's technology that they put in people's brains without them wanting it. So, my son, he has evolved human biology as well, because he's my son. He was born in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario on August 23rd, 2005, and he's a white boy with blonde hair and brown eyes. He's not that parasite. So let's see. Okay, so I'm looking for one. I'm looking to look for the muscle structure, but anyways, I'm just going to show you this real quick since I'm here. So this is what I look like. This is what I look like at 19. And this is Princess Helena. Her son was Christian Victor, as I will be soon enough. And this is what Edward VIII looks like. He looks like me. And my grandmother's maiden name was Ivy Marion Cook. I'm just going to see if I have the muscle structure in here. I do. Perfect. So here's the muscle structure. So this is typical Generation 1 biology. You can see this white man. He has indentations in his back muscles. And this is my back muscles. You see I have a V, and I don't have any indentations in my back muscles, and I'm a white man. I'm Christian Eric Meyer once again. And with a computed tomography test, it would show that I have different organ structures than every other human on the planet. And I'll just show you right now. I got different bones in my feet that everybody pretending to be me can't. They don't have them. Nobody has these feet on the planet. So you can see I got my ankle right there. I got a bone or a spur there, and a ridge right there. Nobody has those bones on the planet. And here, for the further comprehend, there's my xiphoid process right beneath my sternum, and I'm the only one that has it like that on the planet. People do have ones that protrude, but not like I do, Christian Eric Meyer. And so anyways, my family went to a royal wedding in August 28th, 1871, and Princess Helena was there. And you can see when I was younger, I looked considerably like her. I looked like Edward VIII. My half-sister lived on Princess Crescent, and currently in the United Kingdom, there's a King Charles. My mother-in-law got me and my ex-wife a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. And behind the Royal York, there's a Piper Street. I even adopted a dog Piper. So here's all the manipulation that happened with different technologies, waves, and now biomolecular communication to be able to commandeer my body. And they show that the government of Canada violates my human experience. And so there's so much circumstantial evidence. Like my dad had servants, his dad had servants, and we went to a royal wedding. And I'm claiming that I'm a result of this royal wedding, and like a descendant of it. And so they're saying, like at the hospital, they're like, well, he has hallucinations and delusions. It's like, well, my wrinkles disappearing on film. That's not being delusional. By you not acknowledging that, that's being delusional. Right, and so in a criteria for the diagnosis is disorganized thinking, right? And you can see how I'm linearly progressing through my video consistently. You know, there's one other idea that I need to come up with now. So let's see. So because I did come up with 9, right? So I said I would come up with 10 ideas to show how brilliant I was. So let's see. Well, I guess in the past, like I did come up with this. I mentioned it to Dr. Ogbonna, and so anyways, last time I was hospitalized, I came up with because he's like, well, you want to be royal for the money. It's like, no, I could come out, like I've been ripped off in innovation. I got ripped off a fourplex, like 4 2-bedroom apartments, and well, I guess I'll tell you this one. It's a different one. I won't tell you the 2020 idea. But anyways, the 2020 idea was see-through canoe. You'll find out that a see-through canoe only came about after 2020 because I mentioned it to Dr. Ogbonna. I get very little traction online because of Bill C-18. So somebody developed it, and possibly Dr. Ogbonna benefited off that. That would show that he more than likely did, right? So I told Dr. Ogbonna about a see-through canoe because if I was in a canoe, I'd want to see fish. Like in submarines, they have or yachts, they have see-through cabins where you can see the bottom of the water, and you can see fish and rocks and what have you, right? So a see-through canoe makes perfect logical sense to me. So another idea that I had that this could be created many times, right? It's almost like a convenience store. But at the mall, they have those photo booths that have where you can take pictures of you and your friend or your family, right? But what they don't have is particularly for teenage girls, they love going to the mall, right? The mall is basically for teenage girls, right? They just love going to the mall. And so getting all the perpetrators that hacked my body with there, and they're pedophiles and rapists, and all they do is hijack my human experience, right? When I masturbate, this is the average amount of people that rape me when I masturbate, right? They're terrorists. And I don't have any human privacy because of the Canadian government. They don't allow it. My brain is on such a frequency that they could easily jam anybody, any human interference that tries to access my brainwaves, because I have unique biology. I just showed you with those muscles. I showed you with my skeleton, and at the Syria hospital, they're denying me an X-ray or a computed tomography test or positron emission tomography. But once I'm out of the hospital, the first thing I'm going to do is either go to Quebec or go to America and get an X-ray done or a computed tomography test done, and then sue and litigate against the Syria hospital and the Canadian government at that point. So anyways, with this idea, they could have a booth at the mall where teenage girls go, or even an individual goes, and then they could take a picture, but it would also print out a t-shirt, right? So there's 10 ideas, 10 patents that I could have came up with to develop money. And I could come up with so many patents that, I've had many patents that have been exploited from me. And so anyways, I'll go back to why the Canadian government profiles me and sees, well, those are the reasons why, right? They're able to see my thoughts and steal my innovations and then my athletic prowess. Like my dad, he had when he was 16, 17 years old, he had a tryout for the NHL, the National Hockey League, when there was only 6 teams, right? And that's what he looks like. People are pretending that these idiots are them. And so these are all the people that pretend to be me and my family. My dad died in 2001. My brother, Bear John Diggins Jr., died in 2021. And, my mom, Bridget Ulemeyer, died August 13th, 2020. So they play people that are dead in my family. These people are dead. And, so another coincidence. So once again, my half-sister lived on Princess Crescent. I had a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. I had a dog named Piper, and right behind the Royal York is Piper. And then, so on Yonge Street, one block away from King Street, right by the Royal Bank, there's a company called Heritage Restoration Inc. And one of a guy named Wade there looks like my brother Barry, that's deceased, and then another guy looks like my uncle. Right, so all the circumstantial evidence, this would be enough to get a warrant to justify getting DNA from the current king of the United Kingdom. If I was in England, once I'm in England, that's what I'm going to see. So also, Stephanie Meyer, her last name is spelled Meyer. My name is Christian Eric Arnie Meyer, Meyer. Stephanie Meyer wrote a book called The Host about a parasitic alien race, and I'm complaining about parasitic humans. So with DNA transfer and training, people are able to improve their opportunity and to be able to excel at sports. And in 1976, Canada was 27th in the world in Olympics. I was born in 1977. They boycotted the 1980 Olympics. And then in 1984, Canada went from 27th place to 6th place because of my biology. United States of America went from 3rd place to 1st place and has dominated ever since because of my biology. DNA transfers from Christian Eric Arnie Meyer. And this will be proven in the future. So anyways, this is my natural voice. They don't let me have my natural voice because it kills pedophiles, rapists, and bestiality people. That's why they hack my natural voice. This is my natural voice for ladies, my salacious voice. So anyways, I'll go back to the biomolecular engineering and all that stuff. So like this would have been a quick video, but these human parasites, they're like a pain in the ass. I can't wait to be king, and then I can't wait. I post these videos, so I show the animosity, because one day I'm going to be the most powerful person on the planet. Then you're going to answer me. Like, you could be in Canada, be like, well, can I speak to the boss? Christian Eric Arnie Meyer. You could be in Angola. Can I speak to the boss? Christian Eric Arnie Meyer. You could be in Russia. Can I speak to the boss? Christian Eric Arnie Meyer. I'm going to be the most powerful person on the planet, because once the world finds out that America and Russia and China secretly work together, and there's a new world order where people behind the scenes work and manipulate and cause terror and everything wrong on the planet, and then I, Christian Eric Arnie Meyer, secretly own most of the businesses unofficially. I just showed you 10 ideas. Right, so Dr. Agbana, he's like, he has grandiose beliefs. It's like, I put people on like a straight flush and Texas Hold'em poker on film. Once again, I doubled my money in the stock market in 16 days and got ripped off of Fourplex. And I gave you 10 ideas, 10 patents right here to show how prolific I am at innovating. I would easily be a trillionaire. For you to think that I am grandiose, you're ignorant. And once again, psychiatry is not an exact science. And with his opinion and bus fare, I'd be able to go on the bus. He said it's psychotic or psychosis to refuse blood investigations. No, people refuse blood investigations or blood work because they don't trust the doctor. They don't want to be overdiagnosed. And they don't want to be exploited like a guinea pig. So anyways, I'll go back to this video. Like I'm a little frustrated because people always try to steal my mojo, man. They're losers. They're losers. So I'm just gonna go over here. So manipulating the nervous system with different frequencies can potentially cause both agitation and involuntary movements. Altering the natural firing of patterns and of neurons through external stimulation can disrupt the delicate balance of the nervous system, leading to a range of effects from minor disruption to more significant movement disorders. Nanoparticles can enter through the body through various routes, including inhalation, ingestion, skin absorption, and injection. The specific route of impact depends on the nanoparticle's properties and the body's defense mechanism. Yes, nanoparticles are capable of traveling to the brain, and although the mechanism and extent of their transport varies, while blood-brain barriers typically restrict passage of most substance, some nanoparticles can cross it, while others enter through the brain and through alternative pathways like the olfactory nerve. So this patent right here, the biosensors that doctors have historically installed in their patients, and I believe they do this without patient consent sometimes, and they clearly do. So when I was reading about the nanoparticles and skin absorption, you could see I started to stutter after that moment. It was because these perpetrators, once again, Xavier and Anthony, they're not doctors, they're patients. So for them to try to administer nanotechnology particles to make this cause any disruption with my nervous system and to make me stutter is just shows that that's terrorism. That's biological weapon. And Canada signed a treaty, so they allow biological terrorism to happen to myself, Christian Eric Ronnie Meyer, and I'm going to build an international coalition. And once I'm king of the United Kingdom, I'm going to get my kids out of this country. Then more than likely, your national security is going to be at stake at that point. So, I'm going to build a coalition. What do you think they did to Saddam Hussein? He used chemical weapons on the Kurds. They built an international coalition. Then they removed the tyrants from power. That's what I'm going to do to the Canadian tyrants in the Liberal Party. And the Liberals have been in party since about 2015. Immigrations went up from before 2015, about 12.5% of Canadians were immigrants. Now 25% are, and child pornography went up 270% because of the Liberal Party. So anyway, so you can see in this patent, this is the U.S. patent 9186071B2. So you can see how they're able to put implants in and see what your visions do and your hearings do and your blood pressure, your ECG, electrocardiogram, and EEG, electroencephalogram. And different sensors, and it can all, like it says right here, ban medical data. So the medical data, you can see it has an old cell phone, it has an antenna on it, and it can be all transmitted over the internet, basically. So this means that this proves that they can put implants into people, and once again, with nanotechnology particles and biomolecular communication, they're able to hijack the human brain and so they're able to commandeer it. So once again, the human brain is an antenna-like and susceptible to electromagnetic and radio wave frequencies. With nanotechnology, biomolecular communication techniques are capable of agitating, causing involuntary muscle control by unsuspecting people. The exhibit The Host. The Host is a science fiction romance novel by Stephanie Meyer. The book is about Earth in a post-apocalyptic time and being invaded by parasitic aliens. So here's the frequencies they're trying to jam my brain with. And so jamming all the human parasites of Christian Eric Ronnie Meyer and on their devices and shorten out their neural circuitry. Let's see how they do. So if you notice the parallels, biomolecular communication, specifically DNA transfer, can facilitate data transfer between individuals, but it's not common or readily controllable process in most molecular organisms. While DNA transfer is a form of biological information, the transfer between individuals typically occurs through mechanisms like horizontal gene transfer in bacteria and some organisms, and through more complex processes in certain viral infections. It's not a standard method of communication used for everyday information exchange like speech or writing. While it is true that genetics play a role in agility, strength, and immune system, simply receiving DNA from another individual wouldn't automatically confer superior performance in these areas. Genetic factors contribute to these traits, but environmental factors like training, nutrition, and lifestyle have much more of a significant impact. But it does say, so if you train and you eat right and your nutrition, it does say that genetics will play a role in. So if you receive DNA from another person through the DNA transfer, you're going to benefit off it, basically. In some scenarios, DNA transfer with subsequent training could benefit a recipient individual. That's where I coaxed or enticed the internet to tell me the truth right there, particularly in the context of gene therapy or for inherited disorders or cancer treatments. So once again, here's the perpetrators that are trying to make me cough right now. However, it is crucial to understand the potential risk and limitations as well as the specific context of the transfer. So I, Christian Eric Ronnie Meyer, am complaining about parasites. So getting Anthony and Xavier showing their DNA on the internet and once again removing the threat permanently. So I, Christian Eric Ronnie Meyer, am complaining about parasitic humans, and Stephanie Meyer's exact same spell on it as my last name. I wrote a book basically about. So once again, I'm getting hijacked right now. They're hijacking because they're listening to my thoughts. As you can see right now, I'm alone in a room. I'll just show you right here. I'm alone in a room Yeah, I have the door there so nobody could come in because the door is like swing open. You can see that I'm alone in a room, so nobody should be able to hear my thoughts. Like Xavier is a white guy from Wawa, and Anthony looks like that, like he's a mulatto, right? So they shouldn't be able to hear my thoughts, and this is their rape account. Right, that's what they do. Like they don't realize my subconscious mind is the one that hunts and rewards people that get rapists. Right, you don't realize it's my system, and like you can see me again. So here's the perpetrators trying to hide their culpability through my body again, and that they don't have overall the same DNA as me. So this threat needs to be removed permanently. That's why you can see with the brain-computer interface, those images change, so necrotized in that individual's brain. Instant rigor mortis. These are a threat, and perceived force in Canada, I'm allowed to remove people. I'm allowed to use the same force that they try to use on me. And once again, these people aren't doctors. They're not doctors. Like they're human parasites, and this video proves that they're able to hijack a human body. So any scenarios, like I bought $10 worth of marijuana, then I felt I was on autopilot. So this video proves that anything that would have occurred would have been caused. And so you're going to face those consequences in court one day very soon. So I'm going to go back to here. I finish my reading because these people, they're losers. They can't amount to anything in life, so they want to steal my acclaim. I gave you 10 ideas to show you that I've been told by 2 people I'm the smartest person they've ever met. And I gave you 10 viable patents that save existence. Like 3 of them save existence, save civilization. And then all the other ones, they help out people tremendously. So people just want my acclaim. So anyways, so when I searched on my name on Google, I stumbled on the book, The Host, about the parasitic aliens, and I'm complaining about parasitic humans. So I, Christian Eric Gardner-Meyer, was born October 20th, 1977, and in the 1976 Montreal Summer Olympics, Canada finished 27th. They boycotted the 1980, then finished 6th, and then 1984. This coincidence is too suspicious, and then I just kind of repeat myself about how the Princess Crest and my sister living on there. So I'm just gonna fill up show you a few more things here. So basically, they're able to highlight different regions of your brain, different structures, and then they'll be able to orchestrate it with. This is what an electroencephalogram looks like. So they're with biomolecular communication. They're able to use techniques here to be able to commandeer the human brain. And so what other ones? So I'll show you. So this was a subliminal out in public, right? Canada has a system where they profile people in public, but now I'll show you where they were profiling me in my residence. And I abstained from sex from 2016 to 2025, and I didn't masturbate for over 22 months, and they still profile me. So you can see right here, this is my chest muscles, and there's my tattoo, and I'm a white man once again, and I have evolutionary pectoral muscles. And right here, my half sister, she posted a letter, which is all based hearsay and it's all lies. But she said I tried to jump out of a moving car when I seen the police. So this video was from March 11th, 2025, and they lied about the year there. And I challenged the nurse, and then as soon as I challenged the nurse, I'll just play it because they lied about the year. All they do is lie. All they do is lie. This is from March 11th. So as soon as I challenged the nurse about the Canadian profiling system, the police come and usher the nurse away. So I guess before I do that, I'll show you. This is there's a subliminal image there, and there's my ashtray right there. This was in my residence when I lived on Court Road in Sault Ste. Marie. And so you can see I look like this guy. This is the second last German emperor. Right, so I'm claiming that I'm royal, and I guess there's my DNA map. There's my DNA map. You can see right here, and every human. In 2017, when I did my profile, I looked at about 50 DNA profiles, and all of them had numbers in those columns, but I have numbers missing in those columns, and that's why my wrinkles disappeared. There's 3 different species of humans on the planet. This is generation 1 biology. You can see the indentations. They try to say that this is generation 2. There's only one generation 2 person on the planet, and my name's Christian Eric Gardner-Meyer. Why do people always pretend to be Christian Eric Gardner-Meyer? They don't pretend to be anybody else like that. Then here's my son. He's generation 1.5. He has different muscles than that guy. And I'm Christian Eric Arnie Meyer once again. And you can see I have a V. I'm a white guy. And I was born October 20th, 1977 in Toronto, Scarborough, Ontario, which is part of Toronto. And you can see I have a different back muscle than my son, who has a different back muscle than every other guy on the planet. So here's, so before I do that, I'll show you right here. This is the wrinkles that I had. You can see the wrinkles. This was wrinkles that I had from January 2nd, 2025. And in July, today is July 18th, 2025. And you can see I don't have those wrinkles. They would have to add those wrinkles. I don't have those wrinkles because my body recovers, because when I showed you my DNA map, the DNA profile, I don't have those N numbers in those columns. So that means that they have to edit my DNA to shorten them, and they have to pollute the planet basically to age me. Here's the proof that they have to pollute the planet. They cause a haze and smog, and by the time I'm 56, people are gonna have to wear spacesuits. Like all they do is lie and compound their problems, and they're idiots basically.
So we're not in a hospital right now. So do you use subliminal whatsoever? What's that? Have you ever used subliminal in your life? No, you haven't. Anyways, okay, take care, Christian. Okay, there's a...
So you can see how he said, "Take care, Christian," and you can see when I challenged him, the cop ushered him off the film, and you can see once again that I'm Christian Eric Arnie Meyer here, blonde hair, blue-eyed white guy, and you'll see I'll say the date right here.
All three of them are hiding their biology through me, like show last 5 seconds, so getting all the merging in my aura and then their aura, right? So showing their aura small so people can crush them. So he clearly lied. That's evidence. It's March 11th, 2025. No, I don't want your card. So we're not in a hospital.
Yeah, they try to say subliminally that it was 2024, but you can see this is March. Why would it go, like, how could it go, it's May here, it doesn't go from March 2024 all the way, like, I didn't have this phone then, right? Like, they're lying. I'll show you right here. They're lying right here, because they're idiots. I'll show you the information from, okay, I guess I have to open it up. But the Canadian government just lies consistently.
No, I don't want your card, so we're not in a hospital.
What information is going to show this was created with MobiZen. It shows that this was created March 11th, 2025 at 10:16 a.m. in 46 seconds. It proves right there that file. So they lied. All they do is consistently lie regarding me. And once again, my half sister, she said she lied. So I'm going to sue her for defamation of character. She said I tried to jump from a moving car. And if you look on my Christian Meyer Diggins, or Chris Meyer Dagan's YouTube page, I always challenge the police on film. And so why would I, like in May 5th when I was approached by a police car 18 in Sault Ste. Marie, I didn't run when I was panhandling. I didn't run. You know, their body camera, like I accused her backup of groping me, basically sexually assaulting me. And so the body camera is going to show that I was in the exact same spot in front of Starbucks. So I didn't run. What are the chances that I ran? Because they try to show subliminally that I ran, because they lie. All they do is lie. You can never trust those people's opinions whatsoever. And all they do is lie. So what are the chances that I ran somewhere and then they brought me back to Starbucks and when I'm on the body camera in front of for C. O'Brien's body camera? Unlikely. You guys lie. That's slander. Your defamation of character. You're lying to me. You're conveying this to a third party. That's slander if you convey, but if you write it down, that's liable. I'm going to sue you for this. So I'm just going to show you here that the human brain is susceptible to subliminal imagery, and it can manipulate behavior. So is the human brain susceptible to subliminal imagery, and can this manipulate? So they're making typos here. Pigeons don't make a mistake. So once again, Anthony's hijacked me. He's a loser. Manipulate behavior. And they always make me say Hyman. So here's the proof that they always hacked me there by using either biomolecular communication or radio waves to hijack my gyro, my thumb, and my nerve endings. my nervous system to be able to make me make typos. Here's proof. They always do it 100% of the time. So yes, the human brain is susceptible to subliminal imagery, but its ability to manipulate behavior is limited and not powerful, is often betrayed. That's like maybe for me, but that's I found a different image. Like that's from AI overviews. Let's see. So I'm gonna go because I did find right here. This one says new research from shows subliminal images can. This one right here shows that. Because Google AI overview likes to lie when it comes to me. So it says right here, subliminal images can change our brain activity and behavior. So they lie. I wouldn't trust Google AI overview because the owners, Sergey and Larry, they're able to influence how it's being presented. So anyways, this video shows, this would have been like a 10-minute video, but that loser Xavier and that loser Anthony and John, they're terrorists. They're biological terrorists. And they're going to get war crimes in the future for that. They're going to get terror charges. They have xenophobic beliefs against me because I'm a different species. Right, it's one thing, like the xenophobic is, I'll just show you what xenophobic means. It means hate. You're gonna get hate crimes. I'm gonna get as much, the amount of crimes you're gonna get for what you do to me. Xenophobic. Xenophobia, the fear or dislike of anything that's perceived to being foreign or strange. Prejudice against people from different countries, resurgence of racism and xenophobia. So anyways, I'm a different species, so people have true xenophobic beliefs against me and my kids. My daughter, she's going to be 23. Her birthday is July 26, 2002. She's born in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Her initials are KJM. And my son's initials are CABM, and he was born August 23rd, 2005 in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. So these perpetrators can't be my kids. They don't have the same DNA. They don't see, so testing their DNA all throughout their body. And if they're human parasites to my kids, parasites need to be removed permanently by any means necessary.